What up, what up, what up? Welcome to another episode of Kickin with B. I'm your host, Brandon, also known as B, and we are kicking off Women's History Month with my first guest of the month, Chelsea. Chelsea will be here talking about... Chelsea will be here talking about tech today because I feel like women are the unsung heroes in technology. So we'll be diving into that today, talking about how she got into her interest and like her new business venture, which is revolved around tech. But for starters, why don't we go ahead and introduce you? Go ahead, Chelsea, introduce yourself.
Well, hello, everybody. So my name is Chelsea Wright, and I do so many different things. I'm a wife. I'm a mom. I really do. I channel my Jamaican ancestry very well on that front. But
they proud of you, girl.
I hope so. Listen,
Ancestors.
They don't make it easy. They said you got to work all the jobs. But I do all things fitness, modeling, and audio. So the tech is audio for me. Yeah, it's a little brief
friend.
Yes,
just like you, dipping their pants.
Yeah. Everything. That's why we're friends.
Exactly.
Little that.
And I love it. That's fantastic. All right. Well, thank you, Chelsea, for being on. Definitely appreciate that. So to kick it right off, why don't you tell us a little bit about how you got started in tech? Actually, before that, let's talk about how we met. So I know Chelsea from when Joy and I both worked at the Apple store here in Atlanta. I think Chelsea is one of the first friends we made there, actually, at the time.
I think so. I feel like it.
I can't remember exactly how we met. I just know that Joy was in the red zone. I was in the family room. And like when I went to go do like phone upgrades, you were one of the people that would be kind enough to come to the back and do it for me.
Yeah.
And then once I just kind of stuck with it. Go ahead, Joy. What were you saying?
Oh, I was gonna say, I think she just came up to me like, "Are you're Brandon's wife?" Like, "Oh, hey, girl." Something.
Yeah.
Like, oh, she's so approachable. So we just talking, standing on the floor, just busting it up.
It was great. I thought you were so cool when I first saw you, Joy. I was like, Joy. I was like, who is this?
I don't know what wig I had.
So cool.
Purple or blue or
it was like a pink one, and then you came in with a purple one.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, no.
Joy was switching.
I want to be cool like her.
Yeah, sometimes it would be like the next day.
It would. And I'm like, I'm living for it. Yes. I don't have that kind of confidence, but I want it.
Okay.
You definitely inspired me over the years to try new hairstyles.
Oh no, you used to rock it too. I remember you had the Coachella. I think y'all went to Coachella.
It was Afro punk.
And you had
and I had the mohawk with the braid, and that was fun.
That was a look.
Yeah, that was a fun one.
Afro punk. That's the festival that would come to Atlanta that you will always go to, right? That's the one.
I would do the New York one though, but
the New York one, right. That's right.
Yes, because.
You and a couple of other folks from Apple.
Yep, Angie, Michelle, Alicia.
Hey, shout out to them. Those are folks too.
Yeah.
Aww.
Might as well have an Apple reunion one episode.
I know, it's like so many people. And I was thinking earlier, like, how long has it been? Because I can't. Oh well, we moved here 6 years ago, so it's about that long. That's crazy.
Wow.
It's been a minute.
Yeah.
It's been a minute. All right. Well, I appreciate that, Chelsea, for shedding some light on how we met. We go on the sidetrack. That's part of the fun here anyway. Yes. The next thing I want to talk about, I brought it up prematurely, was what sparked your interest in tech? Like, how did you get involved and get started with that?
Oh, man. I'm a tech baby. My dad has always been into tech, and we've been a family that's been heavily involved in technology for as long as I've been alive. So like I have memories of growing up in the hi-fi buys in Buckhead. Like bring your kids to work day would be me going to hi-fi buys and sitting in on demos of, surround sound systems and watching Waterworld for like 6 hours in a day.
What's hi-fi buys?
Yeah, I have no idea what that is.
Oh, you don't know? Okay, so Hi-Fi Buys.
From Philly, we don't know.
No, you're good. Hi-Fi Buys, they are a high fidelity audio store. And back in the day, Hi-Fi Buys also did like car installation, home installation, all of that kind of stuff. And they got really big and got purchased nationwide. I don't know what year exactly, so don't quote me on this, but they got absorbed into a company called Tweeter. And then shortly after they became Tweeter, they went bankrupt. Yeah, and then I want to say
bye.
it really was, and it was so sad. And they had a staple, like, you know, right on the main part of Peachtree, like across from that Chick-fil-A, there was Hi-Fi Buys, and everybody had known about this building. It sat there empty for like a decade before some guy went and he repurchased the name Hi-Fi Buys out of bankruptcy and decided to bring the brand back, reopened a different store, similar location. They're like a couple blocks away from where they were before, but same branding, same, you know, we're all out here doing hi-fi audio and trying to make people's homes sound better and be smarter.
So it's still there now, the newer one.
Yeah, the newer one is there. I actually almost quit Apple to work there at one point.
Wow.
Yeah,
I gotta go for the culture just to see what it's like.
We'll check it out along with something else. But this is similar to like that section of Best Buy and like BrandSmart where they have like the couches with the TV screens and the sound bars and all that.
It's like more interactive. Like
it's not necessarily more interactive. I would say it's more personable because it is only audio that they're dealing with. So it's like if you had gone to Best Buy and you know how they have the Magnolia section, right? And you're like, yeah, so this is essentially the Magnolia section, but it's its own store. And so that's all they do is they talk to you about higher quality speakers, amps, preamps, wiring, cables, all of that, and like how to connect it all together. What are you playing? What kind of music are you listening to? What sounds better for jazz than it would for hip hop in the 13 by 13 foot, room that you might be in, so we're getting into specifics about that, but
yeah. Wow.
I always wondered like the difference between audios because like a year ago, Apple started including that lossless audio and then like Dolby audio, and I'm like, what's the difference? I feel like I can't hear the difference, but I guess it's because of the equipment that I'm using or why I can't hear the difference.
Yes. So the art of hi-fi that they talk about is the lack of noise. So that's what separates regular audio, which is what you get when you play off your phone, your headphones or whatever. They're not hi-fi because they're not made with hi-fi materials and they're not absorbing or getting rid of the additional noise. So if you listen to hi-fi speakers, and I need you guys to come up to Modus so you can listen to our speakers. So if you listen to hi-fi speakers, what you notice is the lack of noise. So now you're hearing all of this other stuff that's been in your audio this whole time, but you couldn't hear it because of all the residual noise that you didn't know was there.
So I'm assuming this is very different from noise cancellation. Noise cancellation just blocks the stuff happening outside the headphones.
Correct.
So you can focus on the music, but it doesn't increase the quality.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And noise cancellation also monitors the noise inside the headphones as well. So a lot of people forget that is something that it also works with. So I worked for Bose on top of working for Apple. So like,
girl, yes.
Yeah. So I've been in the tech space for a bit.
That's fantastic. I love that.
Well, thank you.
Shedding light on stuff that we didn't know about. I'm here for it.
I love to educate.
It's shown. Thank you. So one thing I really want to focus on and like dive into, and when we first met, I don't want to say when we first met, but once I got to know you more, I found out that you and your family, specifically your father, as you mentioned, is the techie, would go annually to CES, which is like one of the goals for me. I want to go, and I would geek out there for sure. If you wouldn't mind sharing it first, the listeners who may not be familiar, what is CES and how did you first get put on?
So CES is the Consumer Electronics Show, and it is the largest consumer electronics show in the world. They do have various regional CESs. So the one that happens here in the United States happens in Las Vegas. And it's at the Las Vegas Convention Center. So when I used to go, because I haven't been since COVID, you would have like 100,000 people like packed out into these various buildings and hotels. And all you're doing is looking at new and upcoming tech from various companies, different, sectors of the tech space. So you would get, big names like Sony, and you'd get smaller names that like, some Chinese off-brand distributor who's selling the same stuff as a guy next to him. But then you would also see stuff that is prototype. So it might never hit the market, but it's just really cool to look at. And they were like, look at this thing I did. And how can we utilize this technology going forward? And it's cool. It's super cool.
Yeah.
It's like a public Shark Tank. Like,
kind of.
Invest in this random thing.
There's a couple things on there that I go to Kickstarter and get funding so people can push it out. And one of them was, I want to say it was a smartwatch before it was the Apple Watch. It was like the pedal, something with a P. I can't remember what it was called, but someone that I worked with at Apple in Philly had it, and it tracked like your health, your heart rate, and all that kind of stuff. The Pebble, actually.
It was a Pebble.
That's what it was. And it went to Kickstarter, and it was real big, but then the Apple Watch came and it just kind of like killed it.
Do what Apple does best.
Hate when that happens. See, I wasn't going to be the one to say it.
Yo, that's what they do. And they started doing it with, they started doing it with like audio too. Because, they got the Beats and the AirPods. They've been buying smaller companies and using their technology to make their stuff better. So someone probably from Apple went to CES was like, what's this again? I like this.
Oh, definitely. Even the whole Beats with Apple thing was not supposed to go that way.
Interesting.
Yeah, because Beats was originally owned by Monster, and Monster makes high fidelity cables. And so how did we go from Monster owning Beats to Apple owning Beats? Somebody dropped a contract along the way, and Apple swooped in and spent more money and picked that bad boy.
I mean, that's what they buy Beats for, like $2.3 billion or $3 billion or something. It was some good number.
They made their money and then some back already from it. So
for sure.
And Dr. Dre, of course, was like,
Dr. Dre getting a check.
What?
I remember when this first happened, everybody's like, so does Dr. Dre work for Apple? And then like in the Apple directory, he had an email and it was like Dre at Apple. And I was like, yo, that's kind of cool though.
Which is pretty cool.
But I don't know how accurate the email is.
It's probably just straight up for
Dre
spam.
at Apple. Anyone would be at Dre at Apple.
Dr. Dre at Apple.com.
Some random dude named Andre working there, like, why am I getting blown out?
Right, because he actually has a doctorate in something entirely different.
Look, you never know.
You never know.
My bad. So going back to the CES. So that's what the CES stands for, and it's in Las Vegas. It's kind of like, any other major convention for things like video game conventions and stuff, but for technology. Yes. What made you go? Were you forced into going by your dad? Were you excited to go with your dad?
Oh, man, I've always wanted to go. So my dad has been going to CES since I was a kid. So like this is what I'm saying. Like that man in the tech space, my dad's been in there. But he had been going to CES since I was like maybe in 3rd or 4th grade. Oh, wow. And we had an agreement family-wise that you can go to CES once you graduate college. So I counted down until I graduated college. I graduated college December of 2013. I was at CES in January of 2014. Like I was not playing. Like I was like, be there. So I went. I went several times. I went from like 2014 to 2019, I think. So like 5 years straight. And it was a great time. We would always come back with way too much stuff. As you guys remember at Apple, I would be like, I've got a bag of goodies. It felt like Santa.
Your post there. I was like, man, she made me be there. It was mine.
That's dope.
It was so fun. So fun. But I didn't go this year, but because Graham graduated. That's my little brother. My brother graduated college during COVID, and there wasn't really like a good CES the year after. So my dad was like, this year, Graham, is your year. You get to go. So he got to go to CES this year and had a great time. He was there just specifically, for the cars, because my brother's a car guy.
I was going to ask, I remember him being.
And they have a whole car section, where you're out here and you're getting test driven in the newest BMW and all this other cool tech stuff.
I'm sure there's a lot of that, like with Tesla and all these other smart cars out here. See, it's funny because me and Joy, our car now has a computer in it. And I told her I don't really care for computers in cars. Like, I don't like the braking for you. I don't like the keeping you in the lane.
He don't like to use it. I use it all the time on a road trip. I had to drive all the way to Philly, and it'll keep you in the lane as the road turns. It'll turn.
That's nice.
And then it'll do it for like 40 seconds, and it's like beep beep. Put your hand back on the wheel, but it'll turn and do all this. It's crazy. Yeah, I love it.
Man, I like CarPlay, and I like certain features that it has, but when it comes to that,
CarPlay is great.
No, thank you. I'm good.
You said let me drive.
Yeah, let me.
I got this.
It's gonna be
It's
better.
called assisted driving. You're still in control. You know, it ain't a Tesla.
This is
So
true. It's not a Tesla thing.
it's
Although
like a fusion between that and like a regular car.
it's like a great value Tesla. What you saying?
No.
Not for the money.
For the amount we paid for it, I don't feel like great value at all.
Great value, nothing.
We got the Target Tesla. Okay.
There we go.
Yeah, okay, there we go.
We'll go with Target. That's a little higher scale. We'll take it. So you talked about the fact that you went to CES multiple years. I'm hoping you recall each year, because my next question is, which one was your favorite year to go and why?
That's a great question. And I have an answer for you. 2017 was my year, man. That was
all specific.
It was, because that was the year where I joke with my mom, I claimed everything and I won everything that year. Like,
Ooh.
so up until 2017, remember I had been going from 2014, every year GoPro would be there. And GoPro had this amazing booth, great, activations. They'd get everybody yelling throughout the entire CES, GoPro, 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 right? And then they were giving out like full GoPro backpacks full of equipment with like, your SD card, you got a t-shirt, you got all the, and I'm like, I want that.
Absolutely.
And they would never call my name. And then one year in 2017, I was like, this is my year. I'm winning my GoPro. And I did. I won a GoPro. I won the GoPro backpack, the head strap, the chest strap, the t-shirt, the SD card, the mic. Like, they pimped my backpack out. I was so excited. And then I was like, and then the gravy train just kept rolling. I won a Libratone Zip, which is a portable speaker. So it looks ironically enough like the HomePod before the HomePod came out. But you can change the cover. So it's almost like it got a skin on it that you can like change out, which is really dope. But it's a hi-fi speaker. So it's a hi-fi portable speaker. I won that. I won some other stuff. I ended up having to like check a bag because I had so much stuff coming back from CES here. It was wonderful.
So fun.
Yeah, so I was like 2017. Yeah, that was a year. I also felt like my makeup was on point. Like, we were hot that year. It was good. It was a good one.
You was in your bag that year.
Oh, I was.
That's funny.
I was.
Your GoPro bag.
Literally.
Dope. That's what's up. So what are some of the other, like, you mentioned GoPro.
Mhm.
What are some other like major companies and smaller companies that were there that kind of had good showings for CES?
Gibson. Gibson makes guitars. Gibson also makes.
That sounds familiar, but I'm not quite sure what they make.
Yeah. So Gibson, their booth was always really cool. It was one of the big tents like outside, so you kind of couldn't miss it even if you tried. But Gibson had these amazing hi-fi headphones that I was like seriously in love with, and they sounded amazing. Gorgeous, like actual gold, and these headphones never went to market. And I'm just upset because I'm like, you ruined my ears by listening to that. And then you never produced them. Like, let me, right. And I'm like, give me the demo. If you're not going to use it, just send it my way, Gibson. I'll put them to good use.
I want to listen to money.
Exactly. That's what it was. And I was like, I felt like $1 billion. It was great. But they also had a Game of Thrones chair outside of their booth, but it was made out of guitars, which was pretty cool. Right. And I was like, Gibson, shut up. You guys are great. And then they would also have live bands performing inside of their tent. Lots of really cool stuff. Another good one, BMW. To know every year, BMW's experience was amazing. Like, there was one year, I think it was 2018. Yeah, it was 2018. You got to go like drift racing in the parking lot with a professional driver. And
that's my dream.
Which was super dope. And I've got a video. It's funny. My dad's in the back seat. I'm in the passenger seat, and they're like whipping, and you just see me sliding from one side of the car to the other, and I'm just like, having a great time. Then we also got to test drive their electric car before it hit market. So they let you drive it for like a mile around the block and floor it to 100. Absolutely, BMW. You don't have to ask me twice. Let's do this. So it was stuff like that. And then my favorite part, which would always be the part that was with my dad, would be the hi-fi listening rooms. So in the Venetian, if you've ever been to Vegas, they have a hotel in Vegas called the Venetian. And in the Venetian, they have the Venetian Towers. And they don't do it at CES anymore. A lot of the audio companies have pulled out. And they're doing a smaller convention or their own independent conventions. And actually, I'll be going to an audio convention in April, so I'll let you know how that goes.
Yep.
It's in Chicago, of all places.
Okay.
But
Chicago. We were talking about going.
It's cool. You should go to Chicago.
Yeah, we have a friend out there that that has a
I literally was talking to her today, so we.
Wow.
Yes.
Put it in work. But in the Venetian, they had the listening rooms, so you had somewhere between 7 to like maybe 15 different floors of audio rooms that you could go and demo speakers and amps and tube amps and headphones and personal DACs and amplifiers and all of that really cool stuff. But each floor would have maybe like 10 to 15 rooms a floor. So we would spend an entire day just going from room to room to room, and you're listening to, $100,000 speakers, and they're doing a subwoofer like demo test. And you're like, wow, I've never heard this so low before. I feel it in my bones, like really cool stuff. And so you just get to like nerd out for a week.
That sounds fantastic.
A whole week?
It's great. Well, if you are press, and because you have a podcast, you count as press. You get to go a day early. So CES runs, I want to say Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And if you're press, you can get there on Wednesday or Tuesday. So you can get in there a day early before all the extra other people come in, and then you get to see all the good stuff without the extra mass of bodies.
Okay.
Do they have like camera, like Nikon, Canon?
Yes, Nikon is there. Canon is there. Kodak is there. Kodak is always usually cool. They did the 360 camera before the 360 was like a big thing. Canon is always really cool. You get to test out all of their cameras. My brother actually my dad took some pictures of my brother at CES this year in the camera section because he also does photography, and he's like out here with, the outdoor cameras, the ones where you're like taking pictures of lions in the safari. He's got one of these massive ones. So he got to do that and test drive those and take all those pictures and have a great time. So it's cool. You also get to see like home tech stuff too. So, like fancy home automation stuff. LG is really big every year. They usually do like little robot dance routines, which is cute but creepy, like at the same time. I'm like watching Roombas do like a coordinated dance routine at like CES, but it's that. Then they would come out with tech where your refrigerator would tell you what exactly you have in it. Like you could text your fridge and be like, what do I have in the fridge today? And then your fridge would text you back, you got eggs, milk, whatever. And then you'd be like, awesome, let me text my oven, can you preheat to 350 at 4:00 p.m. and your oven will text you back. Absolutely.
That's great. Right now I just gotta call Brandon and start the oven.
Now that costs an arm and a leg though.
Yeah, that's convenient.
It costs an arm and a leg. And imagine the internet go out. You screwed. You can't do none of that. So,
right. And if your oven was on, does it questions.
That's a good question. See, I don't really mess with much of the smart home stuff. Like the lights, yes. The speakers, yes. What else? What else? We don't have much here, thankfully. But, the lights, the speakers, the doors. The door is the one thing I'm also kind of creeped out about. Like, people who have digital key locks. Remember we used to sell that at Apple where you could just tap your phone and just key? Too much.
Yeah. I'm always like, but like if the power, am I locked in my room now? Like, I don't know. Yeah. My claustrophobia.
It's got to be an emergency key too, something.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Did they have a keyhole? It had something. I don't know.
I hope so.
That's crazy. It's too much.
No, it's cool.
It's too much.
Like it's the future, and we can do something like that. Like I can with our new car, I can unlock and lock it just by saying like, Siri, do that. It's cool. But at the end of the day, like, what's stopping someone who's not me from doing it? Because anyone can activate Siri on your phone.
This is true.
But granted, they won't be able to start it. But either way, still weird.
Listen, hackers, anything is possible.
So I appreciate you sharing. That's fantastic. Very enlightening about CES. I know you said you didn't go this past year because your brother went. Do you have plans on going back?
Oh yeah, we're actually talking about next year getting the whole crew together. So Dad would go, I would go, Jared would go for the first time.
Brandon also.
That's my husband for the podcast people that don't know. So Jared would go because he's never been to CES either. Maybe bring my brother back again if he liked it enough to want to try again next year. And then my mom, though granted she wouldn't do the CES portion, but she would just enjoy being in Vegas and trying all the different foods and terrorizing her favorites, you know, like the Jabberwockies and anybody else. So.
I love the Jabberwocky.
I didn't know they were.
That was my show. What, they got a residency out there?
Yeah,
They do. Jared and I saw it at
Oh,
the MGM Grand. Yeah, they've got a residency.
oh my God.
It was lit.
Yo, that's cool.
But not their tickets at their residency being cheaper than the tickets for them on tour. And they're coming to Atlanta, I want to say like tomorrow, actually. It's like the 6th or something.
I gotta go.
Yeah.
What? I had no idea they were like on concert tour. That was a thing.
Facebook ran an ad to me and I was just like, oh yeah, let's go look. You know, I was like, because it was fun the last time. So Jared and I were like, maybe let's go look and do it again for date night. And then we saw the price of that and we were like, not y'all being double what you were in Vegas at your residency. Y'all got it. I'm gonna love you from a distance.
I'm over here looking at the tickets myself. Like, are they really coming to Atlanta?
That's too much.
They are. They're supposed to be, or we missed it. But I know it's in March. That's all I know.
Yeah, I'm looking now. That's crazy, but the prices are not that bad though. Not that.
And you know, they only start at like.
It seems like everybody's on tour at the same time right now. Why are there concerts like this?
Well, you missed like 2 years, like 20.
Yeah, they're making up for lost time.
They couldn't space it out for us. Like we can't go to everything, everyone at the same time, someone the same day. Like, come on.
They
said they need to pay their bills too.
And I want to see Beyonce.
Like,
ooh, those are the same day?
Same day.
Yes.
But it's only because
he already got
the show.
Did you already say it? Oh, okay.
Well, I did on the episode with Love. We got Beyonce tickets for August 11th.
Yeah.
Congratulations. That's
but
cool.
Jason Mraz is like my all-time favorite.
I know.
But it's okay. I'm a new Beyonce fan.
Okay. Well, I'm going to need you.
This most recent album's the only one I've ever listened to.
Don't feel bad.
Because it's the only one that captivated me. I was like...
Make sure you take lots of pictures. Get your money's worth.
For real.
Okay. Steal confetti if you feel like you need to make a little extra difference.
Yo, can I share something real quick?
Yeah. Talking of confetti.
Speaking of confetti, we went to an Anderson, whatever. We went to one of his concerts. We went to one of his concerts, right? It was fire. Great.
It's also named Brandon.
It was also named Brandon. Shout out to Anderson. And his final performance, he shot confetti, like confetti shot into the air. And I'm all like, wow. But as a piece of confetti lands in my mouth, I'm over there. Joy, like, you okay? Like, I think I just swallowed confetti.
Yo, no, but he was like literally like gang.
Brandon, you almost died.
I almost died. First of all,
you were into it. What?
I was very into it because he played the drums and he hit the last note, boom, and then the confetti came. So I'm just like, wow. Oh my gosh, confetti almost took me out, y'all.
Yeah,
scary at the time, but it's hilarious.
It's a good moment, you know. The concert was fun.
It was unforgettable.
It was unforgettable indeed. It was a great time.
I love it.
That's fantastic. Thank you for sharing. I'm looking forward
Thank you for sharing.
But so that ties into this other question though. Are you going as a group to just like, you know, check it out again, or are you going to actually participate because your new business venture kind of ties into CES?
It'd probably be a little bit of both. So business for sure. Though I don't know if there's going to be a lot that we can do on the business front because there's not a lot of hi-fi left at CES, but you never know. We might be able to make some really good connections, get involved and connected with some really good people. I was like, there's business everywhere. I always like to think. And then as far as like, you know, just the scoping it out, like I like getting free stuff. I was sad I missed out on the free stuff this year and I want free stuff next year.
Yes, that's cool. And like the new unique things, like, have you seen a smaller company there that like now is huge and you're like, wow, I remember when they were just like a little booth there.
Oh yeah.
Have any of them like started small that really took off that you can remember?
I would say there's some audio ones that did take off. Like
that's cool.
Audio-Technica, when they were first going, their booths were so small. It was so cute. And then now they're over here, and I'm like, oh, you got real estate. Somebody's getting paid. Okay. That's
Nice.
good.
So they do take off here and there.
They do. So, and then there's just so many cool things to see at CES. Like, another good example, Oculus. I remember when Oculus made their debut at CES, I want to say it was 2014, 2015. They were so small, like nobody really came by their booth. And then I did get to demo the Oculus unit. My dad and I, there was nothing to do except to sit and just pretend you were in a spaceship and you were in space and you're just looking around, just aimlessly moving your head. Like, it was lame, but I was like, I see the potential. You're just not there yet. And then to look at Oculus now and be like, oh, Oculus, you're a powerhouse, bro. You were bought by Facebook. And like, yeah, they were bought by Facebook. And just to see how much they've grown, I was like, that's really cool.
Now, we did an Oculus demo in Perimeter Mall, like during the Christmas holiday or whatever they set up there. And when we did it, it was like a dinosaur thing. I don't know if we did the same one, Joy. But the one I did was dinosaurs, and they like put it on, and then I could see the Bronchiosaurus like walking and stuff, and I could see it from any angle. It was still kind of meh at the time. But
I think I had that impression of it when I was done. I was like, that's it.
I mean, there are some really cool games to play.
Years ago, though, so that's probably changed.
Yeah,
5 years ago.
See,
they got some good stuff now.
The virtual reality games kind of freak me out because sometimes they'll be like on a bridge, and I'm afraid of heights. And if I'm looking down and I see like that, some of it looks real, I'm gonna freak out.
It does. Jared and I, we both have Oculus headsets, and I only use mine specifically for Beat Saber. Like, that is all I come here to do. Jack up some Beat Saber. Yeah, so Beat Saber is almost like if you played Guitar Hero, but instead you've got two lightsabers.
Fan was my game.
That's right.
Yes.
It's a music-based lightsaber game.
It is a music-based lightsaber game. So you're full flinging your arms, all around in different directions. You've got different ways to cut the flying squares that are moving at you, and you can. Yeah, if you want to play one hand, you can. If you want to play two hands, you can change colors. They've got different packs. Like one of my favorite packs is the Fallout Boy pack. Like
we love Fallout Boy.
Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. Next time we hang out, I'm gonna bring my Oculus headset, and then I'll let you guys play. Because it's so much fun. They've got Lady Gaga. They've got Lizzo. They've got a.
Have like Michael Jackson or something. That's wild.
No, unfortunately, no Michael. But you can technically jailbreak your Oculus and get a jailbroken Beat Saber, and you can play whatever you want. Yes, man. They do. But then you've got people.
Find a way.
They do. So they've got all sorts of stuff. But it's fun. I think they just released an Imagine Dragons pack like last week or something. I'm sitting here like all the techno packs. Like, yes, this is it. But then there's that. Then you have people like Jared who likes to use his Oculus, and he likes to go to the VR spaces. So there will be other people in these spaces, and you can like watch UFC fights together, the NBA finals, and it's like in a movie theater style room, and you've got people like talking, and now they have clubs in the VR, and like, yeah, they have like strippers in the VR.
Stuff, yeah.
They do, but if you if you want to see some, yes, they do have strippers in VR.
Oh gosh,
I know. But if you want to see some really cool VR stuff, our friend Julian, he's big in the VR space. He's on TikTok and Instagram as like Techman Jew, and he's gone viral on like ESPN. And a bunch of other stuff for just playing stuff on the Oculus. Like there's a Star Wars game, and he used the Force, choked this lady out, and then like beheaded her. And that video has like 7 million views. Crazy.
Oh my God.
Like LeBron James reposted the video, and I'm sitting here like, Julian, like, bro, I knew you from like bodybuilding, and now we out here, and we're like Oculus and Meta like sponsored, and we've got a whole tech team, and now they're doing they're supposed to be doing their first esports gaming tournament next month with Mike Will Made It, which is pretty cool. And the only reason I know is because of Modus, but we'll talk about that later.
We will get into Modus.
Yeah, Modus, my big sister.
You might might have just sold me on an Oculus Rift. My boy Jared just bought a.
It sounds fun.
Yeah, don't buy the over expensive one. You can get the Oculus 2. That's the solid one right now.
That's the solid one. What do they run
Yeah.
for? I can look it up.
I have no idea, honestly. Jared just spends money, and I'm like, thanks. Because he got one, and then his aunt and uncle also had one. And they were like, it's no fun if you play by yourself. Chelsea, do you want one? And I'm like, yeah. And so Beat Saber for me, I'll just start my Apple Watch as a workout, and I will go for an hour, and then it'll be like, you're done. And I'm like, cool, I've got no arms. That was great. Thank you.
It's so much fun, though, because I love dancing games.
Yeah, I got to get you guys on it.
Yeah, I want to try it.
For people listening, Oculus is $400, which isn't
not
bad.
At the 2?
Yeah, two. Oculus 2. You can buy it directly from Meta. It comes with some games. That's dope. If we're being transparent, that's less than the price of a PS5 or Xbox. So definitely.
Is it its own system or like the headset? What does it connect to?
So it's its own independent system. So it is connected to the internet. So you can utilize like web browsing opportunities. You can watch YouTube, movies, all sorts of stuff, listen to music.
And it connects to Facebook.
It does connect to Facebook. And then you have your own, they have got their own like game and app like platform where you can go and like search apps and download and stuff like that.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm looking now. It comes, if you buy it, first of all, Meta.
I don't know if it's like a system with a dock, like a switch, like you just take it off and then it's got its own little thing.
It has a little remote joints.
Yeah, you can drive with it too. So like we were playing Forza on it for a second. So you're like driving in a, and you get the little Forza steering wheel. Like you compare those two things together, you're unstoppable.
That's dope.
They also have like shooting games, zombie games.
I love zombie games.
I was like, Joy, that's right up your alley.
I love anything zombies. Give it to me.
Yeah, they have a Walking Dead game, I think, on there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it's pretty cool.
The Walking Dead. Oh, that's crazy. He's like, why is she down there screaming?
Listen.
I'm getting attacked.
Worse than that, John. That's hilarious. I love it. Thank you, Chelsea. You might have just sold us on the. I don't want to give Meta any of my money, but you might have just sold us on that Oculus. For
well, listen, let me give you my referral. So I can get $30 from when you do, and I can buy a new Beat Saber pack.
Okay, no more. And also, Meta,
so we could play together if we got it. Like you could like. Is that okay?
Yeah, some games you can play together. You can like even on Beat Saber, you can start your own lobbies, and you can have, I believe, up to like 6 or 4 people in the lobby playing at the same time. And you can also stream from your Oculus headset to a smart TV or even to your phone. So like when I'm playing on Oculus, Jay, that's our son, he likes to watch what I'm doing on the Oculus on my phone. So I'll just give him my phone, and then he's watching and listening to what I'm doing.
Oh, that's fantastic. So he can have that experience while you're actually in the game.
Exactly. And then I hear him hyping me up from the couch. Go, Chelsea, go, 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 Chelsea. And I'm like, yes, Jay, thank you, man. The best.
Oh, that's awesome.
So sweet.
I love that. Dang. All right, cool. So to keep things going, we're going to talk about tech. And my next question for you and you, Joy, because I'm curious to know, is what's your thoughts on the latest technology that's been coming out? Is it exciting? Is it underwhelming? Do you think it's reached its peak? Where are you at? Chelsea first.
Okay. I was like, I got my thoughts, and I'm gonna let you guess.
Please, go first.
For me, it depends on the sector of tech that we're talking about. Like the phone sector, I feel like it's tapped out at this point.
Oh, sure.
We can only do small miniature upgrades. The iPhone hasn't changed since iPhone like 10, which didn't change since the 6, which hadn't changed since like so I'm like, okay, but and then the fact that we're bringing back stuff that we had in like high school and college, and now they're like, welcome to the flip phone. Oh no, no, we can't do a full circle.
I was talking about my little G1 back in the day.
I like the flip phones because it's something about so satisfying about closing it. Hang up. You know what I mean? It's like you. Now
I mean, it does have a very satisfactory like feeling.
And also these things are too, open now. Now you can make it compact and put it in your pocket. I mean, I'm trying to sell it. It is underwhelming. Like,
no, you're good.
Hold your phone. But
right.
When it comes to the phone sector, yes, I'm not excited about getting a new phone as I was like a few years ago.
Yeah, I'm like, computers kind of the same. Like they did small increments better. Like there's nothing that's blowing my mind out the water.
The touch bar came and went.
Yeah,
Okay.
like, okay.
That was nice. Thank you for the additional upcharge.
I haven't seen anything blow my socks off for tech lately. Like nothing exciting, nothing really innovative. Well, I say that. No, that's true. That's true. I haven't seen.
But I will say in audio, because that is what I'm here for. In audio, they have done some really cool stuff. And stuff continues to get better. So.
And that's true.
No, they really have, actually. That's
very true, because they sell things that increase your experience with music. And if we're being honest, we all listen to music. We just listed about Beat Saber and people we listen to. When it comes to audio, like, music is really an experience. When you put your headphones on, you want to be immersed into it. Some people like to hear the instrumentals. Some people like to hear the vocals. It really depends. And I know there's different levels of audio that allow you to hear one versus the other, or all of it, and hear how it comes together. So that's your space, and that's something that you have really dove into. Oh gosh, there I go again using that word. So talk to us about your latest business venture and how that plays into your
snap. Okay, so we're going to talk about Modus, and it's MODUS _AV if you actually want to check it out on social media. Modus AV. It is Latin, because my dad is a nerd. If you haven't quite figured that out this far into the podcast yet. My
parents are sweet.
They are really sweet, though. They're so cute. My mom is adorable.
They are.
Oh my God. Don't get me started on talking about her. That's a whole podcast by itself. Because mom she's fun. But really? You from this shit?
I think yeah.
Yeah, she's all of like 5'3".
Yeah,
adore tiny.
They came to the Apple little potluck thing.
Mm-hmm.
So you weren't at the wedding.
I was not at the wedding. I think
you had to work that day.
A couple other random times. Did y'all come to an event one time? A pop-up?
Yes, my mom did.
You did? Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Okay, memory.
Listen, sometimes it serves me well. Today's one of those days.
You ain't failed me. Good job.
I'm sorry. Chelsea, continue.
No, you're good. So Modus, MODUS _AV. But Modus, I joke Modus is my big sister that nobody knew what her name was until 2018. For some backstory, Modus technically, if you ask, the U.S. Secretary, it started in 2018, but Modus has been around since 1989. So my dad started building speakers in his garage, like when my parents first got married. He's always been into the audio space. Like he worked for a second on the lifestyles of the rich and famous. We're not going to talk. This man has lived a very, very well-rounded life. And he moved to Georgia, I want to say 1990. So it was like right before I was born. Moved to Georgia, pursuing a different job. That didn't work out. And so he needed to get a job, ended up getting a job working at Hi-Fi Buys. Ooh. And from there, he got to pursue his love of audio, like in its entirety. So he became like the store manager. Then he was like a district manager, and he was running several stores. And, I popped up on the scene. Graham popped up on the scene, and we grew up in Hi-Fi Buys. And even in our own home, we had high fidelity speakers. He's always been an Apple fan. So he actually worked for Apple for a little bit. The whole family's been in there. Dad was in there 2005. Yeah. So 2005, my dad worked at the Mall of Georgia. Yeah, right. So like itty bitty. So he worked there for like 4 years. And that was part-time. So he would like leave his other job and go all the way to Mall of Georgia to work at Apple. So, he did that, and then he ended up working for this company, and he was doing what they call custom integrations. So he was going into like high-rise condo towers and stuff, and he's pimping these people's apartments out from, top to bottom. We got smart shades. We've got, $15,000 speakers and this, that, and the other. And then we did the pre-wiring, the wiring, and like all this other stuff. And your whole house is controlled by an iPad. And he did that for a couple of years. In my opinion, he was not valued So he finally took the leap of faith and was like, I'm going to do my own thing. And then in 2018, Modus was officially born.
Nice.
And so Modus, we actually have kind of like two different divisions, and at this point, it's a family run company. So there is the custom integration side, and that is the side where we do all things residential. So, we'll do a home theater in your basement if that's what you need, or if you want your whole house to have audio from room to room, and we've got different zones, we can do that. You need audio outside, we got you. Also just other really cool tech stuff for the home. So there was one customer that we had, and he had we installed a golf simulator in his basement, which was really cool. That was super dope. We've done panic rooms. We've done all other sorts of stuff. Yeah.
That sounds fun.
It's fun. So you've got that. And then you also have the commercial side. So if you've ever been to the restaurant Twin Peaks, or you've heard of Twin Peaks.
Heard of it. I've never been.
Yeah. So Twin Peaks, side note, is actually owned by the son of the guy who made Hooters. So this is a family thing.
What?
Yeah. Twin Peaks and Hooters. I'm like,
the son of the guy. Okay. Wow.
I've seen the business model of Twin Peaks, but it's never been my scene.
You're not missing too much. It's like Hooters in the mountains is what I like to joke. They've got plaid shirts, booty shorts, and boots. Like it's the same uniform, slightly different. But so we've done Twin Peaks, we've done Fuzzies. I want to say at this point we've done 19 Twin Peaks locations across the U.S. So we've gone as far west as Texas, as far south as Orlando, Fort Lauderdale, and then we're up north to Philly.
Corporate.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we got one for Philly this year. Okay. So, and what we do for Twin Peaks is we set up different zones of audios. For example, the one in Buckhead, we've got 19 zones of audio, and I believe there's 109 televisions in there. And so we connected them all. They all run off of an iPad and a server in the back, so that is the commercial side. So we do the commercial, we do the residential, and then we have and this is where Chelsea comes in. This is me. So we have what we call the mall, right? So we get to go to the mall, the Modus AV listening lounge. And that is up in Swanee. So I actually am the showroom manager / social media, content creator / a lot of hats you're wearing. Yeah, I am wearing a lot of hats. I'm operations, I'm customer relations.
It's perfect for you though.
And it's fun.
You seem to love it. Very passionately about it.
I do. I love it because it's an opportunity for me to be in a space that's not regularly inhabited by somebody who looks like me. Because when you think hi-fi audio, you don't think a young Black girl, or let alone anybody of color, truthfully. But, so for me, getting to be at Modus and opening up the hi-fi experience to people that never even knew about hi-fi, who haven't had the ability to experience hi-fi before, it's fun. I love when people come up to the mall and we're like, all right, what's your favorite song? And now we're going to play your favorite song on 60 on $30,000 speakers. Right? We'll be like, this is a $50,000 setup. Let's hear what your favorite song sounds like. And I guarantee that song will not hit, feel, look, anything the same as to how you've ever heard it before. And then watching people's reactions. And I'm like, great. So now that you love the $30,000 speakers, let's go listen to the $1,800 speakers, right? And then kind of pull you all the way across to the other side of the spectrum and still letting you know that you can get really good audio it doesn't have to cost you legit like a student loan. But that Beats and, JBL and clips are not your only options. That there are other hi-fi speakers out there that might look a little bit better for your aesthetic, that might fit your price point a little bit better, but they will reshape the way that you experience your music. And not just music, but it does everything from movies to, podcasts. So even we were listening to a podcast the other day on these reference threes, and I'm sitting here I didn't know Joe Budden sounded like this whole time.
We gotta go.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Yeah. We actually have a
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. So, but Modus, we also use it as like an event space as well. So we've got like an album listening party. Somebody's rented it out next Saturday. It's a Christian rapper, which is really cool. He's rented out Modus for after hours, so it's Modus After Dark. And
Okay.
and we're supposed to be having people come in, listen to his album on like, the $30,000 speakers, and it's a whole experience. And so then there's other people that are like, I want to use the space for networking events, or even shoot, just to come hang out. Like they'll text us because we're only open technically 2 days a week. And then the other days are by appointment because I've got a child who, we do the virtual schooling at home, and somebody needs to help him get an education. So if it's not Jared, it's myself. And so we got to flex out, in between. And we just
those 2 days and the hours for the people.
For the people. So Thursdays from 4 to 8 p.m. And then Saturdays from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. is when we're open. And on March the 23rd, I'm just going to do a little plug for myself. March 23rd for Women's History Month, because we're also out here. Yeah. We have a ladies event. It's called Ladies Night. Woo! So it's nothing but ladies. March the 23rd. It's a Thursday. So that day that we're open, I'm like, if you're a guy, cool. It's not really for you. But what we have to, you can still come. You can still come, but just know that you will be outnumbered, male to female ratio. Okay. It's like there will be more women than there will be men. And if you're uncomfortable, I'm sorry that you feel that way. No, but so what we've done, I've curated a playlist of, I don't know, this playlist at this point is like 4 hours long, of songs that are all about like women empowerment, like uplifting the female spirit, the like strong, powerful woman voice. Like that is what we're like listening to. We're celebrating Women's History Month. We're encouraging each other. And then there will be like champagne and light refreshments and things like that. Like, yes. And, we've had some other really good ones. We had a Valentine's Day event called Love to Listen. Yes. That was fun.
Supposed to make it today.
That's okay. Next time.
That night.
That's okay. And listen, you're booked and busy, so I get it. But we'll do Love to Listen again next year. And then we also did a big event called Break in the Blades. So those were those $30,000 speakers I was talking about. We are one of 2 places in the entire state of Georgia that you can listen to those speakers. And we're also considered elite dealers from KEF, which it's pretty big that, as an African-American business, that we're an elite dealer, because there's not many of us, and we are the only ones in the state of Georgia that are African-American elite dealers for KEF. And KEF is our major retailer that we use for speakers. We only carry 4 major products, but KEF is one of those 4, and they do our speakers. Yeah.
That's amazing. I'm so happy for y'all.
Thank you.
Like, this is great. I didn't know, like, I saw, you posted, like, oh, yeah. And I was like, what is it, kind of?
No, it's okay. Most people do that.
Like, it's so cool. I gotta go. I'm so glad that you're, like, just shedding the light, and especially Women's History Month. Like, it's just dope. I'm proud of you. I'm happy for you. It's, like, perfect for you.
Thank you.
Perfect for the fam.
Oh, yeah. It was fun. So you guys definitely have to come check us out. We are up in Swanee.
Get the restaurant. I'm like, just put the speakers so that people can hear something.
Absolutely. And then I'll ask you, Joy, I'll be like, do you want your speakers to be seen or not seen?
Oh, I didn't even think.
I'm like, you want them in the wall? You want them in the ceiling? You want them in the floor? Like, where you want them?
In the floor?
Yeah.
I need to see.
Oh my God.
That's
yeah.
Yeah. It is. It's actually really cool. I'm supposed to be doing an unboxing in a couple weeks of an in-wall subwoofer. Ooh. So it's a subwoofer that goes inside the wall. So it's be really cool. I'm really excited.
Awesome. What are you doing this unboxing as? You have a YouTube channel, or do it on Instagram? How does that work?
Yes, we do it on all the social medias, because that's what I run. So we are on YouTube, but we're also on Instagram and TikTok. I'm TikTok yeah, but most so on Instagram. TikTok is mean. Like, they are not nice to women in tech on TikTok. And I'm like, you guys can have it. I don't need the abuse. So I'm just going to keep the abuse to Instagram. And I can say that because I did the the blades. I did an unboxing video of the blades on Instagram, and I posted it not thinking anything about it. And then that video went viral.
Oh.
And I think currently we're at maybe 5 million views. We're getting real close to 5 million views. Yeah. Right, which I'm sitting here like, we had 200 followers. How did this happen? I don't know.
When you hit a stride, you hit a stride.
We did. And comments were so mean, I had to turn them off. They were so mean. Like, they started out really good, you know, because we had our actual friends and family that follow us on social. So they were like, yeah, this is great. I can't wait to hear them. And I'm like, this is awesome. And then the comments from, like, people who I don't know, I was getting cussed out in English, Spanish, Arabic, Dutch.
You mean, like, what?
Yeah, they were like, this video is boring and it took too long and you didn't show me the speaker for longer than 3 seconds and I don't understand, what is that even, is this dumb? And I'm like, okay, you know what, we're all adults here, not every comment needs to be said, so I'm just gonna turn them off. Like, it's cool, but if you have a question like what this is, I have a follow-up video. If you had waited an extra hour, you would have seen all of your answers would have been, all of your questions were answered a little bit later on.
No, that's crazy. I hate that they did that. And it's like a thing for women in tech in general, or, women in most fields, but even in Apple on the floor, like there were times where just because we were women, we were not respected and they'd ask to speak to a man or speak to someone else and that person would come over and say the same thing. And I think we even had instances where we would talk about that. Like, we would, Are you serious?
I don't want to work with you. Is he available? He doesn't know anything, but okay, whatever.
I trained him. He's new. He's shadowing me.
It happens a lot, and it's I will say it's tough sometimes not to let the bias get to you, because you're sitting here, but I know more than he knows. I'm smarter than he is. But because he's a man, you want to all right.
I love this.
Yeah. I gotta keep
a lot of that for real.
The angst on the inside. Oh yeah, or
for sure.
And you're a Black woman, I'm like, who is this?
Right,
Like, double explain stuff. Like, come on.
Yeah.
We know this.
I used to leave get somebody else to do it.
I would actually use the line, you know what? I don't think this
customer is like, you're not gonna talk to me like this. Like, goodbye. Go to that person.
Yep. Or I'm not the specialist for you, but let me find someone who might be. And then find nobody. You get to wait. I found nobody for you.
Man, so the entitlement, like, that we encountered was like mind blowing, crazy.
It is. But I will say it's gotten a lot better. Because I think we finally set the temperature with people like, hey, look, this is not what we're here to do. It's also not what we stand for. And if that's how you want to conduct yourself, you can just do that on somebody else's page. You're not going to do it on my page. And I will be the first to block you and delete your comment because I don't care.
That's how you run social media.
Hey,
it is.
You're controlling what you want to control. They can just...
You're not going to bully me on my own page anymore. Y'all had 1 month. 1 month to bully me, and then I got it together. And I was like, we're not doing this no more. You're not going to bully me off my own page.
Man.
I love this.
Because you just mad because you didn't get to unbox $30,000 speakers.
That might be true.
That's what it is.
I love watching unboxing.
Like, how did she get to do it? Because I do. Don't be mad.
Right. And I'm like, and if you want me to unbox your $30,000 speakers, you just got to give me a call, man. I give you my rates, my hours. I'll edit it too. I'll put it together. I got you from start to finish.
Yesterday's price ain't today's price, so talk to me nice.
It's not, because inflation is real, and I'm about to inflate these rates.
I love it. This is fantastic, Chelsea. Thank you for sharing information about Modus and what you all bring to the table and what you're about. Joy and I will definitely be checking you out. And again, if you didn't hear it earlier, you can check out Modus on IG at Modus_AV. And they also have YouTube, TikTok, all that. Is it the same across all social medias?
On TikTok, it is the Modus AV, because somebody else apparently took Modus AV. I'm not sure what that was about. But everywhere else, it is Modus, MOD, not T, D, as in David, dog. Okay. Don, whatever word you want to use for D. D-U-S. And then A-V.
M-O-D-U-S.
Yes, Modus.
Underscore
Modus.
AV or just AV?
Underscore A-V.
Okay, cool. Just
That was
support Modus,
my dad's
y'all.
executive decision.
Follow, and your dad sounds, well, I met your dad, but I didn't know all of this, like, his history. I'm like, you need to have him on the show and talk about, like, where did this love of audio come from? Like, I just want to know more, like.
I mean, I can tell you that backstory, too. I know all the family lore.
Tell us a quick version, because I kind of want to know, like, I really.
Yeah, no, so my family's always really been into music. So my grandma has been a piano teacher / the church piano player since day one. She's trained generations. I think at this point, like maybe 5 or 6 generations of piano players in Brooklyn and here in Georgia. Like that's all she does is just piano. And then my grandpa was like, her strong silent type, but he would just be supportive on that front. Then like, my dad and my aunt and my uncle, they all played various instruments. I played instruments, Graham played instruments. So we've all really just been in music, and through music, that's where the love of audio has kind of like come from.
Nice. I figured it was something like they're either singers or like.
And they sing. They do sing. They had a little quartet. My mom was a part of the quartet with my dad, and then we're dating. Well, they were.
No, that's dope. Thank you for that, because I was like, it's somewhere I need to know. And I think you kind of told me part of that before about y'all playing instruments. But that's really cool. I love musical families.
Thank you. Yeah, I played the piano. Graham was the man of many hats. Like he was good at the tuba, the drums, the piano. I want to say the trumpet and the saxophone.
Dang, okay.
Yeah, you would never know because he don't play none of them anymore. But
y'all still play.
No, he doesn't play. And then then I married Jared, and Jared makes beats, and Jay is a lover of music. Yeah, so
Musical fan.
he does. He didn't stand a single chance. Like there was no way he was missing that. Like from Jared listens to music. Like he is an audio. He didn't know he was an audiophile until we got married, and my dad gave him a first demo, and I was like, that was a wrap. You're about to be ruined. And he was like, no, I'm not going to be ruined. And then if you guys can see the full setup he has over here, you'd be like, yeah, he's ruined. I'm like, yeah, I know. Like man's out here buying vinyls and we ain't even got a record player yet. Like that's
dope.
Player.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's dope. You know how we are couples working together. I love it.
And that's been fun. It's been fun working with my husband and my dad. It's been interesting.
A family business is cool.
Y'all was hyping it up. Y'all was in there doing the thing. I love it.
Oh man, listen, Jared is my number one hype man. He does a great job of hyping me up.
That's perfect. It's exactly what you need.
It is. But I be hyping him up too. So then he's just like,
it's a balance between the two. That's what marriage is.
Cheerleader energy.
Yes, I do have a lot of energy, as he would like to tell people all the time. He's like, girl, you have so much energy. And I'm like, it's because I work out. Just permanently.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. I do have one final question for you, and Joy, you can answer this too. You've seen a lot of technology over the years. So what's your favorite piece of technology? And it could be more than one if there is more than one. And it could be audio related if you like. It's up to you. I'll let you choose. Joy, if you have one, feel free to throw it out while she's thinking. But if you need to think, go for it.
It would probably be. I was going to say my camera, but it's kind of old now. But it is still my favorite, and my MacBook, because I live on them working. And it's changed so much, got lighter, got faster.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's all they do change nowadays is weight and speed.
I mean, yeah. But it's efficient for me because I'm always on it. So
this is true. Now, to be fair, they have improved more things too, like the
things have changed. Larger trackpad, like I'm looking at it now. Like,
now they make their own chips, which increase the battery life. So there are some advantages.
True.
Yes, but
yeah, and MacBook specifically because I like the way that the trackpad operates over Windows. So I don't think about Windows anymore.
We are an Apple household.
Don't feel bad. I am also, unfortunately, an Apple household.
Yeah, I think it's because,
I want to leave, but I'm like, there's nowhere to go
to invest it right now.
That's the issue.
It offers the same experience. There's nowhere to go. That's sad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my issue. I'm like, I want to go.
Because I work on Macs and Windows. And when I'm going in between the two, I'm like, damn, this is an annoying piece of technology. But we're not gonna get into that right now. Shout out to Max though. Chelsea, do you have one? If not, I'm gonna go.
Yeah, I've got two.
Ooh,
One is my 2013 MacBook Pro. Shout out to Winston Jr. I named it in college, and this is technically my second one, but it's still running. Like, I bought it in 2014, January 2014, and it is still running. And I love it.
Well, iMac's still running too.
I mean, I think that's the best series Apple ever did was right there. That was it. I was like, you should have just figured out how to do that again, and we'd be good.
Yeah.
So my 2013 MacBook Pro, and then my second favorite would be the KEF R7s, which are there's some floor standing speakers. They're passive, and I like to have them hooked up to the Hagel H190, which is an amplifier. But the R7s sound so good, and I want them in my house.
How big are they?
Maybe like 3.5 feet tall. So they're sizable. Actually, ironically enough, I just did an unboxing. It posts on Tuesday. But I just unboxed the newest version of the R7. So they just came out with the R7 Metas, which is a meta version of its predecessor, which means it is, enabled to do streaming now. So you can stream, and they're powered. Yay! So you can stream directly to those speakers. And I like listening to Tom Misch. Tom Misch is my dude. And Yusuf Days.
I have no idea who that is.
Yeah.
I gotta review. Send me these two names.
Okay, I will.
Jack up the spelling.
They're almost like a jazzy alternative, but like a little bit. If you like FKJ, they're kind of in that same vein of people like FKJ. And yeah, so Yusuf Days, Dayes, and Tom Misch, Misch. Tom Misch is a beast. Yeah. And I can text it to you. I'll text it to you. But so that just really any music on the R7 sounds disgustingly good. And I never want to.
So we can demo them?
Yes, you can.
Yeah, we need to check out them R7s. They sound like sneakers. Them new R7s.
Thursday and Saturday.
Oh man, listen, and by appointment. So if you want to be up there technically by yourself without renting out the space, make an appointment. And we can make something happen.
I'm here for it.
Yes.
So I'll go last. My favorite piece of technology is actually my Nintendo Switch. Because I think it's interesting. I was playing it the other day on my computer monitor, and then Joy called me downstairs. I put the controllers on, picked it up. I'm playing on the go. Nothing changed. I'm still right where I was in the game. I was online and everything. So the fact that I can just get up and be mobile with it, it's fantastic.
It's the innovation for me.
Yeah, and on top of that, if me and Joy want to play together, I take the two side parts off, use the little pedestal that it has, and we're playing together on the go. Fantastic.
That's cute.
It's an amazing game system. Granted, they don't have the best games on there, but when it comes to like innovation and fun, the Switch is great.
Mm-hmm. And no one's touching it with the handheld like mobile games yet. Like Game Boy, all that. They just owned it. Like no one's competed. I can't think of one.
Here's another thing now. The Nintendo Switch now plays Game Boy Color and Game Boy Advance games and Sega Genesis and Nintendo 64 games all in one system on the go. So the Switch is where
Sega.
Sega.
Listen, you just the same way I convinced you guys to get an Oculus, you just convinced me that I need to commandeer Jay's Switch.
Oh, absolutely. I was in GameStop yesterday. Like, how much
you gonna be sneaking in while you're in school?
Right. I'll be like, Jay, pay attention. Take a test.
Hilarious. I love it.
Take a test.
So this has been great. Thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
As we mentioned at the beginning of the show, you wear a bunch of hats, and this just happens to be one of them. But I would like you to be on again and talk about more because you are a very interesting person, and I have enjoyed our time with you. But I know you, and I'm happy that other people can get to know you and learn about your new business venture because it sounds fantastic, and you have now showed me that I've not truly enjoyed music yet. So I'm looking forward to getting my demo in Modus AV.
Yeah.
Support them, y'all. Support them.
Support Black women, support Black business, support, Us, because that's what we do. We do it best.
Support each other.
Absolutely. Anything else you want to add before you head out that we should know about Modus, about you? Feel free to share. If not, then that's a wrap.
Nah, it's been great talking to you guys. Thank you for having me on.
Absolutely.
And yeah, I'll definitely be back. And whatever you want to talk about,
You know what I want to talk about? One thing. I asked you what your favorite, workout stuff like that was. So we're going to talk about fitness and your journey in that, and how you've achieved something amazing in that realm as well. But,
well, thank you. And that Brandon is giving you guys the spoiler for the next episode.
Absolutely. It'll be fun, though. It'll be fun. Thank you for being on. It's a pleasure. Thank you all for listening. Kicking It With B. One last shout out. If you like this shirt that I have right here, it was made by my homie back home in Philly. Chasing Grace is the name of the business. And, I will share the link on my IG and share some of their work. But yes, other than that, hold on. Joy has something.
Because this is one of our friends too, by the Veggie Taste on Instagram, and here in Atlanta. And she also makes sea moss and sells these things. So yes.
Yes, we out here. Cool. By everybody, because we want everyone to win.
Takes a village.
Absolutely.
We out here.
All right, y'all. Thank you for kicking with us. Until next time.
Peace. Until next time. Y'all say peace.